On today's episode, we're joined by Brittany Campbell. Originally from Charlottetown, Brittany spent time teaching cadets before making her way over to Halifax about 2 years ago to further pursue a career in comedy. After making her way up the ranks on the East Coast, she's now moving to Edmonton at the end of August with her girlfriend. You can follow them along on their journey across the country with their new podcast, Two Lesbians and a Cat, coming out soon. Listen in as we go through it all.
I was the same old me with the same old blues. I was the same old me with the same old blues. I was the same old me with the same old blues.
I do Airbnbs.
Yes, he does. Cool.
Okay, let's freaking talk about stuff.
Get
Let's
into
get
it.
excited.
All right.
Get into it.
Mark, what did you do last night? Nothing special.
Nothing
Sounds like.
special. Nothing nearly as special as what Brittany's about to drop on us.
Yeah,
Right now.
we have Brittany in the studio for the first time.
How are you?
Good. Really good.
Yeah. Have you been on podcasts before?
I have been on, been a guest on a couple podcasts.
Yeah.
I guess 3.
Boys
Yeah.
Club?
No.
Intoxicated?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I've been
Shout out.
Intoxicated,
Sarah.
Quirky and or Queer. Should have another Halifax podcast.
I've heard of
Well, did you get drunk for Intoxicated?
Yeah.
Spill-
Yeah, I got a
spill
little
your
personal.
guts?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to, right?
Yeah.
And Sploodcast, New Brunswick, another comic does
What's it called?
the Sploodcast.
Okay.
His last name's Splood, so yeah.
Splood.
Yeah, it's a
That evokes a lot
Yeah,
of different
it
things
does.
for me.
yeah, for sure.
Last name Splood. First name Splash.
Splash Splood? Sure.
That would be good.
Why not?
Okay, so you're a pro. This is easy. Just
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah, you know what you're doing.
Million
Yeah, I can
times.
answer
You've
questions.
done this
Yeah.
before. Yeah, you can answer
Yeah.
some
Cool.
questions. Where are you from?
From PEI. Grew up in
From-
Charlottetown.
Yeah.
Charlottetown. We got another Islander. It's been a while actually. We had like a good string of Islanders for
Oh, yeah?
a while.
They're good people. The ones that leave, anyway.
Ooh, yeah. There we go.
Honesty. Yeah.
Very honestly, what did you go for their city?
No, you go for it.
City boy.
Islanders are good people. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Oh, great. I'm actually going to PEI on Sunday for
Oh, nice.
the Murphy's Hospitality Group softball tournament.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
it's a
right.
bit of a shit show.
They probably don't give very much free booze out, do they?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not optimistic for you.
as the years go on, the rules and regulations get a bit tighter.
Yeah, the fun gets decreased.
Right now, we can only drink non-provided beverages
Okay.
in red Solo cups. Before it was just mayhem, like you could bring
Yeah.
whatever you want.
What do you work with?
I work down,
Murphy's?
Pickford and Black.
Okay.
A little bit of part time there, and at the auction house as well.
Oh, nice. I like the auction house.
Yeah, good spot. Not enough people go. I mean, it's
Yeah.
good food, good beer. What can you do?
And here, he runs BNV Media, working the podcast. This is your real job.
Can you call it work though if you don't get paid?
Yeah, for sure.
totally.
Yeah,
for
definitely. Yeah.
Hard, still
Definitely.
work, yeah. It's your
Takes
dream
effort.
job minus, no salary yet. But
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll definitely get there.
this could be our first monetized episode because it's been so fucking good. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Absolutely. So obviously we're in Halifax now.
Yeah.
So you made your way over here from the island, but
Yeah. Moved here about just under 2 years ago. By the time I leave, it'll be 2 years.
Okay, how old are you now?
29.
29. You're 27. So you spent your whole life in PEI? On PEI, they say.
Yeah.
On PEI.
I don't know. Either one.
Yeah.
On the island.
I lived in Newfoundland from 19 to like 21, which was like
did
the
you?
perfect time to live in Newfoundland.
Yeah.
But then back to
Absolutely.
PEI. Just ran out of money. Just
Yeah.
partied too much.
happens.
Yeah. And then back to PEI and then been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go to school or anything like that?
No school. Fuck
High
school.
school. That's about it. I taught cadets for years though, Army cadets.
Right.
So
Oh, cool.
I worked with them and joined the military for a while.
Yeah.
Leaving them now because it's hard to do too many things at the same time.
So is that like reserves?
Yeah,
Cool.
it's under the reserves teaching the cadets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always wondered what is cadets kind of like the stepping stone to something else, like the Navy, the Air Force. I don't even know.
You could join after, but we don't like recruit them, but we'll train them. It's like a youth program where they learn how to like do public speaking,
Yeah.
live like surviving in the woods, marching and community service, discipline. Yeah.
You
pretty good.
bring the mic up just in front, right? Sounds a little better.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just
Is that
another,
better?
like,
Yeah, that sounds better.
There we go.
Definitely.
All right.
We're getting that
Cool.
stereo sound now.
I was in the Air Force for 10 years.
Oh yeah.
Reg Force as a
Ooh.
firefighter.
Oh cool.
Yeah, I always thought cadets were super cool. It was like, it was like whenever the cadets would come, it just seemed like summer camp.
Yeah.
But like you're
Is it
really
Greenwood?
learning some skills. It was in Cold Lake.
Okay. Yeah.
And in
Alberta.
Shearwater. Yeah.
Way
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you made your way
That's
over
fair.
to Shearwater. What, like
Yeah,
a
but
year,
this isn't
2 years
about
ago?
me.
It's not about Sid today. It's about Brittany.
Yeah, so you've had
Yeah.
this gig, cadets. Is that like full-time job?
No, it was like part time. When I lived in PEI for 7 years or 8 years of it, after I moved back from Newfoundland, I worked with Health PEI, which is like cleaning rooms, serving food at the hospital, long-term care facilities, the addiction center, things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was
Cool.
a good job for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't.
No, it was still great.
Yeah.
Still one of my favorite jobs I ever had. It's just to stay in PEI and want to do comedy.
Yeah.
It's just a bit foolish.
Have you always
Yeah.
been
Tough.
funny?
What?
Have you always been funny?
Quietly funny.
Yeah?
Yeah, like to the people next to me. Just like
Okay.
That clever
insulting
funniness.
people. Yeah, it's insulting people
Look
quietly.
at this piece of shit over there.
Yeah.
Like at people's expenses behind their back.
Like I was never mean about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in good jest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just some people need to be poked fun at. It's
Well, then
fine.
what got you on stage? What got you actually to do comedy?
I always wanted to for like before I did it, probably like for like 4 or 5 years before. I kind of like thought about it. I never really thought that was an option though. But then an open mic started happening in Stratford, which is like 5 minutes outside of Charlottetown, and I was like, all
Shout
right,
out Stratford.
yeah. I was like, well, I should probably try it. And then I tried it on a Friday, and then the next Monday I was asked to do another set to open up for some people that were coming through.
What?
And then after the second time, I was like, all right, this is something that I can do.
Damn. So how was that first time?
First time was pretty good. I didn't invite many people because I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't know how this is going to go. But I had written some jokes before, luckily. And then I just added it together and did it for that. But he gave me like 7 minutes or something like that for my first time. That's too
Damn.
much.
Wow.
Like what's good your first time? 2 or 3 maybe, I would think.
Well, like 5, you
5,
know?
yeah,
I would
yeah.
say, like, if someone can do 3, like, I tell people they can do 5, but if they want to leave at any point, like,
Yeah.
feel free.
7 is a lot.
I think it was
feel.
7 to 10, but I don't remember exactly. But
And that was your
Jeez.
first time, so you had to write a lot of jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's
Yeah.
just-
And I
okay,
thought
like,
I was straight at the time.
Yeah.
So, like,
There we go.
Yeah.
you couldn't do anything about being gay.
no.
Yeah,
No.
You had no idea yet. How old were you at this point?
I was 25 when I tried it for the first time.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, 25. I had slept with like one woman before, but then I was like, it's probably just that one person.
Yeah.
Yeah, the classic. It's
and
just
then
a phase.
Yeah, then I figured it out like 6 months in or 8 months in, and then
Yeah.
just
And
went
then
with
the
all gay
jokes just
Yeah.
came. to
Even
you.
more dick jokes, surprisingly. I don't know how.
funny how that is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you think comedy helped with that? Like as having that vehicle of something to express yourself to like
for sure. Being able to like think and then being able to get it out quickly to like strangers and talk about it and have those people accept you. It kind of like branches that like the thought of having like, does anyone accept me? I don't have to think about that because you get like instant gratification from strangers.
Very true.
So
I find whenever you like go away on a trip, I remember I went down to like New Orleans for what is that shit called? Mardi Gras.
yeah,
And you can just be yourself because
Yeah.
you don't know anyone. You can just have fun. You can just go wild, and you're like, this is nice. I wish we could all just be like this all the time.
yeah.
But we have the societal constraints. What can you do? You know. Did anyone encourage you to get into comedy? Like you said, you didn't really invite.
I invited
anyone
a couple people,
too many,
but I told some close friends, and they were very like, "Yeah, you should do it." I would like try jokes out on them and stuff like that, and a lot of them would come with me when I lived in PEI. I would do a lot of shows in New Brunswick just because you have to get out to do more. So I would friends would come with me sometimes, or when I would start promoting shows in PEI, which I'm promoting one August 24th actually, which is exciting.
plug, do it.
Yeah, it's I'm going away, so it's my last show in the
The
Maritimes.
farewell show.
Yeah, we're gonna do a 8:00 show and then a 10:00 dark and dirty show,
Here we
which
go.
is good.
cool.
We're at.
The Whiskey in Stratford, same place I started comedy at.
Oh, that's
yeah.
cool.
Full circle.
That's
yeah,
nice.
so a lot of my friends have always been really good to like come out to shows, especially since I moved, and I only come back like once a year to put on a show.
Yeah.
So that was really helpful. having audience members is great.
Has your comedy style changed a lot since writing those first 7 minutes of jokes? Do you use any of those jokes still?
I had to do a show for Tinder Tales, and I used 2 of the jokes for my first set ever, like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Tinder Tales.
Yeah.
Were you on Tinder back then?
Like it was PEI, so probably like Plenty of Fish or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Dating
Maybe
guys,
Tinder.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I got a lot of jokes. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, my style's definitely changed. I'm more confident in who I am, and I'm more likely to like push the limits. But before, I was still a dirty comic when I started, but I wasn't super confident with what I was saying. I was just like saying it. But yeah, now I'm just unapologetically being myself and on the stage. So
Is a lot of your comedy based on experiences you've had for the most part?
it's mostly about me and my family and relationships. So pretty much all of it. Yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
Very personal take on comedy.
Yeah, so your
Yeah.
comedy's probably transformed as you've changed.
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to say it. Yeah.
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 Was there like, so when you were coming out, was that something that was kind of happening on stage as you were figuring all of that out and your comedy was changing? And
Yeah, that was an interesting transition, but
Yeah.
it was good.
Yeah.
My second time ever talking about being gay was on PEI. First time I did it in New Brunswick because I didn't know anybody in the crowd. The second time, someone who had done comedy like a couple times yelled out during my set, like, "What is this, your coming out party?" Like, yelled it out twice. And he was like, heckled me. But I had a story from the last time I saw him where he said something shitty and I like wrote jokes about it and then performed it in New Brunswick and then like used it as like to like heckle him back. And it was like the perfect setup and
Got him.
destroying him.
That's
It was great.
So did you come out to the audience before some family and friends?
Yeah. To the audience before my parents for sure. And a lot of my friends like found out at comedy shows, which was really funny.
Yeah.
I'd like invite them and then I'd be telling the jokes and they're like, "Oh, all right."
Yeah. And
But I don't think anyone was surprised.
Did you like plan for that? You kind of thought that would be a good way to let people know?
Not technically. I was more like, well, they'll see.
Yeah.
You know, we've been friends forever, so they're here, and it's better than me being like, "Hey, I'm gay," and then going to tell jokes because I didn't want to have the conversation. I was just kind of like, I'm cool with it now, so
I'm gonna put
just
it
do
out
that.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did your
Yeah.
parents come? Did they come see your comedy?
My dad's been a few times, which is funny because I'm not close to my dad, so it's probably easier to tell jokes in front of him than it would be my mom. My mom's come to 2 shows, and my stepdad's come to 1 show.
Yeah.
But my mom's like, you hold back too much when I'm there. So I was like, all right, that's fair. Yeah, I don't want to. She doesn't want me to have to do that. So she watches all my videos
Oh, cool.
that I send her. Yeah,
Okay.
That's good.
not all of them,
The
but the ones I
PG
send her.
stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah. So she knows not to go just look up everything because it could be some.
I think she does. I
Yeah.
think she still does. I think she's seen everything that's on YouTube. So
Yeah. Is that embarrassing at all to like know your mom knows those details about you?
not really, because I got over that. I think because if the joke's funny enough, it's worth saying, and she'll like watch something and then she'll be like, ugh, and then she'll watch it again, and then the second time she's like, okay, that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I do get pretty personal, and I'm my poor fucking mom. Yeah.
Shout out Brittany's mom.
That's
Yeah.
great.
You're a
Well-
trooper.
Well, has
Yeah.
that opened you up a bit? Because you're saying, your normal style is like you kind of talking quietly to someone next to you. So were you kind of a shyer person before?
Yeah, growing up, I was pretty. I guess my friends probably would say that I wasn't, because like the ones I was close to, like I said, I would always be like whispering in them. But when I was really young, I was pretty shy. I didn't talk about my feelings or open up.
Right.
And now I'm like, now that I'm getting older and practicing with comedy and like meeting so many new people and talking all the time, you can't really avoid it,
Yeah.
which is probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
But you're talking about your feelings on stage anyway.
yeah.
And so now it's spilling over into real life. You're a sensitive person, Brittany.
Don't tell people. Don't tell them I'm
Now the
nice.
whole world knows. Is comedy kind of therapy for you in some ways?
I think it's helped me work through a lot of stuff. Like I tell lots of jokes about my dad and like other family stuff. So like I think it is. I don't think I intended it to be, but it's if you work on the wording and like then it changes the way you think about it throughout regular life, right? Like I tell these jokes when I first started telling some jokes when I first moved to Halifax. I felt like anything I was doing new like made the audience like a little sad because they couldn't quite get it yet. And I was like, all right, so maybe I need to work on that a little bit with myself before I start
Interesting.
making audiences sad.
Get
yeah.
a bit of a different perspective by wording it differently.
Yeah.
I like that.
Are you able to do some comedy that gets the audience sad, but then still is funny, like something that's so real, but
Yeah, I'd say a lot of my jokes about about my dad and stuff like that probably are making people a little sad, but also they're like, yeah, good for you.
And it draws them in, I think.
Yeah, you get some personal, gets them on your side, makes them. If you get them to the audience to trust you, then you're like golden.
It's like, we came here for fart jokes, but you're going deep.
Yeah,
Cool.
Oh, that's good. So, what decided the move to Newfoundland?
Edmonton.
Well, no.
Oh, Newfoundland. Oh, the first one. But you're going
When she's
back.
19. We're going,
I'm
yeah,
going back
Good for
a
you.
bit.
formative years.
I was in Cadets, so I knew a lot of people from Newfoundland, and I went to visit one November, and I was like, fuck, George Street's fun. Like, and I had a lot of fun, and I was like, all right. And I moved 4 months later. I just had some friends there, and I just had a good time.
Went to party.
Yeah, my friend's roommate at the time was moving, so I was like, perfect timing. And just went there, met so many people that I didn't know before. Became a best man in a wedding from someone I met
nice one.
a month after I moved there, and
Cool.
yeah,
Oh, that's great.
it was a good just having friends there. I just wanted some adventure.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
experience some new things. I wish I
Yeah.
did that when I was 19. So I was trying to force university. Oh, well, what can you do?
Yeah, all my friends were in school, so it was probably best for me to move to Newfoundland. And
Yeah, go get a real education on the
Yeah,
streets
right?
on George Street. Yeah,
Street sense.
Exactly.
for sure. I also skipped university.
Fair.
And I'm street smart.
Yeah,
So
you're
much
10
more
years in
applicable
the military.
than book smart. But yeah, even before I just partied and
Yeah,
learned about people.
that's fair.
Yeah, so you did that. You ran out of money, or you partied too hard. You ended up having to go
Yeah,
home.
I was like, all right, I have no money. I have some credit card debt now. I guess it's time to go home and get a
Yeah.
good job.
Yeah.
And I was only planning on moving back for like a year, and I was like, I'm gonna go back to the fun place. And then once you start like working and thinking about like how much money you're making, and you get tired earlier when you're older, you're not necessarily gonna
Right.
move back to be like 19 for 5 more years.
Can't just walk off hangovers anymore.
Yeah, no, me either.
Yeah.
It's tough. I think a lot of people end up in that position where they're making enough money to stay in something they may not necessarily be truly passionate about.
Yeah.
But it's at that time, it's like, well, I don't have any other better option.
Yeah.
What can I do?
It was a job that I was able to go to and then be done with when I left. And I enjoyed it, like getting to know like the residents and stuff like that. You become close with them, and I made a lot of friends through that. So I liked working there because my buddies also worked there now. But PEI, you can't stay for comedy, so
No.
no.
Yeah, there's just not enough people. It's,
Not enough other comics too to
right.
there's more now than there was when I started, but if you even want to put on a show, you're like getting people from Halifax, New Brunswick coming down, and then you're like, okay, well, I had to pay for the bridge. Every person needs enough money for the bridge.
That is
There
highway
goes
robbery,
oh,
by
man.
the way.
Oh, I'm gonna write a Yelp
It's
review.
almost $50
Yeah.
to leave the island.
$47.75.
jeez.
Trying to get people to stay.
I know.
I
Yeah.
know what you're up to, PEI.
We just want the tourists.
Yeah.
That's all we want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that you probably need to like be practicing and stuff, and there's not enough open mics, I'd imagine.
Yeah, exactly. There at that point there was one every like, month or two, and I had like random weird shows. Like I did like 3 nights in a row to open for like a burlesque show, which was pretty cool. But I pretty much went to New Brunswick probably like once every 3 weeks or so.
Right. That's cost money, yeah.
Yeah, we were making $5 an open mic or $0, and you got to pay for the bridge for $50 and all the gas. And
That's tough.
So you knew you'd eventually move to Halifax.
I knew I'd move, and I thought Halifax would be a good stepping stone.
Yeah,
Yeah, before moving somewhere else.
definitely.
Then I met my girlfriend, so I stayed another year. So I was like, I
okay.
don't want to like be like, hey, you want to move to Edmonton? Let's move in together for the first time somewhere else.
Right.
So I spent a year here. And
okay.
Yeah.
You moved here alone then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I met her the summer before I moved here in New Brunswick
Oh, okay.
at a wedding.
Yeah.
So then I was moving here anyway, and she lived in Kentville, so
What's
it's
her
pretty
name?
sweet. Jacqueline.
Jacqueline.
Yeah,
Shout out, Jacqueline.
I call her Jack.
Shout out, Jack. Jackie.
Cool.
Okay, Kentville. Yeah, about, an
hour.
hour-ish
Yeah.
outside of the city. City being Halifax now.
Yeah.
And was it a big difference right away when you moved to Halifax in terms of comedy?
Yeah, there's mics every night of the week.
Every night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
a good comedy city.
Yeah, it's a good comedy city. It
For how
goes through
small it
like
is.
every comedy scene goes through like ups and downs of like, but right now every show I've been to in like the last week has had like wicked audiences.
Seems like it's
So,
on the
like,
come up
It's
now.
on the
Were you ever grinding it out doing a mic every night?
It depends. Like 2 weeks ago, I did like 8 shows in 6 days or something like that. But that's not always the norm. So like
Double header.
I usually do like 4 or so a week, 4 or 5. But it depends, right? Like when I moved to Edmonton, there'll be more. And it depends if you're wanting to do open mics all the time or if you're wanting to do like book shows and. Depends. Yeah, I'm a middle. I could consider myself a middle now. So like I can open for headliners or MC for shows like that. So
Yeah.
can't always do the open mics, but I like to get
Right.
out to try my new stuff as much as I can.
Yeah. So open mics are just really a way for you to practice, work on material, be in front of a crowd.
Yeah, practice something before you do another show or like work on new material or go back to old stuff. It's just like a night that there's like no pressure.
That's
But-
true.
Because no one's
But
paying
for
you.
all the new comics, still lots of pressure for them.
Oh,
So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
stage fright is a real thing.
yeah.
I was doing, when we did the live podcast a couple weeks ago, I stumbled on a word and it was just like
Oh, you can
complete
feel it.
freeze.
Yeah.
Luckily, someone knew what I was trying to say. I'm like, yeah, accessories? And I was like, yeah, that word. Thank you. Have you ever had any experiences like that?
I've had I can hear it in my mind if I like stumble over a word. Like
Yeah.
I'm still going because I know the joke, so I'm still talking. But like I'm like in my head, I'm like, oh fuck, what are you just an idiot? Like
It's so weird
But-
when someone's like timing's so important, but I feel like when someone stutters, it just like when they say the word wrong and just kind of throws it off. It can
throws
really
it off.
throw that joke off.
especially if it's right before the punchline or it is the punchline.
yeah.
Oh, that's the worst feeling.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, if you give a tag after that though, like after the punchline, sometimes you can bring them back with the tag or like riffing on something that happens there, and then you can get another like, a secret laugh that you
Right.
didn't get from that one you missed. But
Play on that self-deprecation.
yeah,
Do you have a lot of just like backup lines ready for when people aren't laughing, for hecklers, for all that kind of stuff?
yeah, a lot of my jokes work well together because it's all about me pretty much and my experiences. So like I've got lots of quick jokes that I can just throw in at any point that
Yeah.
kind of like bumps it back up if I'm losing them. Or hecklers, like I find like open mics get you the most used to hecklers because like weird stuff's always happening. And then once you do so many of those, you can respond to like someone at a book show that yells out and you're like
Yeah.
you're prepared.
Yeah.
I had did a show at last December at Yuck Yucks, and it was a Saturday night show, and like you could tell the crowd was rowdy like as soon as they walked in the door.
Yeah.
Had a couple drinks.
Yeah. And I said that I was from PEI, like barely said it, and then the whole crowd just started like screaming. It's like every drunk person in there was from PEI,
That's
and
great.
it was like it was amazing because I was able to yell back and forth to them so
And
much.
They understood
Yeah.
the dialogue.
Yeah, and everyone else just liked hearing people yell at people from PEI.
Yeah.
So it was pretty perfect.
That's great.
Yeah.
You do a lot of jokes about Jack. Now that
A little bit, yeah. Just basically saying that she's a better person than I am. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, you don't shit on her.
No, not really.
Only on yourself.
Like,
Yeah.
She's the wind beneath my wings.
Yeah, just say she's better, so I just bought new clothes to like make up for that. Stuff like that. Yeah. One of my new favorite jokes that I've been telling about her is that she hates it, but it's fun. Is that I do want to marry her eventually, and I was like, and the main reason is because liberals are banning plastic straws by 2021. And I was like, there's no way I'm getting married without penis straws. And then I just say that I'm so excited to marry her because I've never owned anyone before.
Yeah.
She's like, you're not going to own me. I was like, well, I don't know.
Yeah. No,
It's in the fine print.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a real thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I was hanging out with my wife last night. We're no longer married.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, I had a beard. She's like, you can't drive home. I was like, you do not own me anymore. I can do what I want.
Yeah.
It is a real thing. You get married, you own a piece of that person. It feels like it's like you're bonded to me through that signature.
Yeah.
You've made this vow.
By law.
Yeah, which is actually not true. You can't control anyone's actions but your
No.
own ever.
No.
Very true.
Yeah.
People need to understand that.
No
Well,
one has
some
to follow
people
your
do.
rules.
What's that?
No one has to follow your rules. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah. I don't like following rules. Ugh.
Yeah.
No. You just got to find people that align with your thinking. And
Yeah. Then
there's
you don't
no
have
control.
to. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like that.
How are you going to propose to her? Is she going to sing
I'm
on
not
this?
actually getting married.
I
right
know,
yet,
I know. Is she going to listen to this podcast?
gotta
Oh,
Big-
probably, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she sounds so amazing.
Jack, you're the coolest.
She is pretty cool.
She's cool.
She's pretty awesome. She's teaching at a survival instructor camp. all summer. So she's like in the woods all summer.
Oh man.
Yes,
Yeah.
because you mentioned she's teaching cadets.
That's like
Yeah.
a dream job.
Right.
Yeah, she's like there's like a lake, and then there's like a bunch of woods, and like it's like a parking lot, but it's not really. It's just like
Wait.
it's just like little rocks. It looks like a clearing, I guess would be the word for
Okay.
Yeah.
a parking lot. So
Yeah.
probably not the best.
There's
but
grass on it.
a little sprigs, and there's like some rocks that
Right.
kind of put over it. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. We went camping there a few weeks ago. That's where we took our cat for a camping trip.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you just let your cat loose.
Yeah, she doesn't really run. She's 12. She's just kind of scared of stuff. She just kind of hangs out.
Well,
Just chills in nature.
Yeah,
wise little cat.
she's pretty sweet.
So you're taking her on a road trip
Yeah,
coming up.
we're gonna have a podcast called Two Lesbians and a Cat,
Yeah.
full of camping tips and cat facts. So it's
Yeah.
gonna be. We're gonna take like a month to go from here. Well, I guess we'll probably leave from PEI right to Edmonton. So
Straight. How long after the last show? Like a couple days later?
yeah. Probably not the next day because it'll probably be
Yeah.
you'll probably be tired.
Little
The
bit
day
of
after,
partying.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take a day to recover for sure.
Yeah.
From PEI.
Yeah.
That's a starting point. Charlottetown.
Exactly. Jacqueline's done of teaching the 18th of August, so we're gonna visit her family, come back, pack up our car in Halifax, and then head to PEI, and then
Yeah.
head out.
Do you have the van already?
Yeah, we got a RAV4.
Oh.
Yeah, we're just doing that. We're just gonna fill up what we can in there and get a furnace place when we get out there.
Are you gonna get
Okay.
a fresh paint job with like the podcast branding on it?
Oh, we should.
So
I was thinking of
fancy.
getting a thing in the back that says "Follow us, Two Lesbians and a Cat." I was like, also like, I hope they follow us on the internet and not like to our
You
campsite.
just got a huge convoy behind you. Like, I don't think people are taking this the
Yeah.
right way.
Yeah. If I've learned anything about people showing up to stand-up shows, is that everyone's gonna pay attention to my advertising.
Yeah.
That's not true.
I was like, wait, what?
What?
Well, yeah, with the RAV4, they got the tire in the back, so
Yeah.
you have the tire
Ooh, I could
custom
put it right
tire
there.
cover.
Custom tire cover. That's a good idea.
There we go.
I was just thinking like a sticker, but that's better.
Yeah. Yeah. Something cost effective. Just slap a big sticker. Whatever. So are you sleeping in the van?
We're gonna camp. We're gonna visit people
Right.
along the way. We're gonna visit some in New Brunswick, a couple spots. We're gonna go to Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto,
All the hot
and
spots.
oh yeah,
Do
yeah.
some shows there?
Probably not gonna do too many shows just because I'm always doing comedy stuff, and I feel like this should be maybe something
A little break
for like
yeah.
our relationship slash having our Two Lesbians and a Cat adventure.
That is
Yeah.
so
So probably-
mature.
Yeah, for the first time in a while. But I actually spent all of May in Edmonton, so I got to meet a lot of people there. So I got a lot of networking done before.
Nice one. We
Which is
had Colin Hollett on.
Oh yeah.
And he spent some time in Edmonton.
Yeah.
And Newfoundland as well, because he's from there. And he said Edmonton's a great city to do
Yeah.
comedy. So
It's a great comedy city, and I like road gigging too. So
Cool.
driving around and
There's a lot of spots around.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Calgary has a lot of comedy, that's for sure.
I like the variety of being able to go to different places as opposed to being in the same area all the time.
it's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Different perspectives once again.
And if you
Let's
love
get the more-
camping, that's a great place to do it all around Jasper.
Yeah.
Oh man. it's so
Yeah, I
beautiful
spent some
there.
time in Jasper when I was like 18.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Jasper and Canmore, and it's like right out of a. We got someone backing up out there.
Background noise.
Plus, if I travel around in Alberta, I'll be able to find all of the homophobic cities and towns, and that's my
Yeah.
plan.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Take him down from the inside.
Yeah.
It's definitely
It's gonna be a bit of a challenge, but
for sure. Oh man, I saw some comedy in Calgary. It was so bad. It was just like so homophobic and so just basic bigoted jokes.
Yeah.
That were just like
What was this?
just like a year ago. I spent a lot of time in Calgary and stuff. It was just like
Shit.
this is alright.
it's just like no, it wasn't
Last
good though.
week.
People weren't getting blasted. It was just like it's just not enjoyable to be
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get that.
I like that
uncomfortable
challenge though, like
Yeah.
doing shows in Cape Breton. Like the audience, like most of them have never met a good gay person. Like in
Yeah.
the smaller towns anyway, like
Yeah.
not like Sydney or anything like that, but
feeling. The big city.
the big city of Sydney.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like that.
Have you found different places you've been or lived are just so much more or less gay friendly?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Like how does Halifax and Charlottetown and
I would say my experience in Halifax is that they're super inclusive. I had this joke saying that they're too inclusive to gay people, but
how's that go?
it's just about like that everyone uses the term partner, and it's really confusing for us because we don't know who to hit on.
Yeah.
Yes.
True.
Yeah.
But Charlottetown, I feel like Charlottetown's a lot better now than it was like growing up. Growing up, it wasn't terrible, but the smaller towns in PEI for sure weren't easy for anyone growing up.
Yeah.
Being queer or gay, however they identify. Surprisingly, St. John, New Brunswick is one of my favorite places to do shows. You would assume it's like pretty blue collar. You would assume that they'd be shitty, but I can get away with anything that I say. Like anything dirty, they're like, yeah, more.
More dirty stuff.
Yeah. Fredericton, super inclusive to gay people. Like, I don't know. I kind of say that like doing shows in Fredericton's a little bit hard because everyone's an activist for something, but they aren't quite sure what it is.
Sounds like Freddie.
Yeah.
Shout out, John.
Yeah.
But I never found that when I first started doing comedy, so it might like just be the last couple of years. But
Okay.
I don't know. It's hard, but then again, each show's different too, right? Like depends what bar you're at, or depends what the crowd is, or
Could be just that particular night too. You know.
yeah, exactly.
But have you come across anyone that's just been so difficult or homophobic that has just made remarks or heckled or anything?
My first time I ever did a show at Men's and Molly's here in Halifax, I was like a year into comedy, and someone booed and called me sexist, like in the middle of one of my jokes, and I was at like a pride show
What?
and in a gay bar.
Okay.
Interesting.
But I think he was there for like either the band or it was a band burlesque comedy mix,
yeah.
which was my first clue. I should have known not to do that.
Yeah.
But I was a year in. It was a band that was from PEI that asked me to do it, which I also only got paid like a third of what I was supposed to get paid for the show, but whatever. Yeah, he booed me, called me sexist, and I just like yelled at him. I was like from the stage, I was like, what? You can leave. Like,
Was it like putting men into a box kind of?
I think it was a joke. It was a joke that I was telling, and it was said that it was funny for me to watch like straight people, like straight guys hit on girls. And I go on to say like some guys are great. They like come up to you and they're nice and they're like, hey, I've got cab money and snacks. And you're like, oh, well, that's pretty great. And then other guys are like kind of shitty, but they're like, come on, you should come home with me. And you're like, no. And they're like, you won't regret it. And then their last ditch effort's like, well, we can just cuddle.
Yeah.
And that's where he got mad just before I said we could just cuddle. And my joke is like, if I
think
wanted
you hit a nerve.
Yeah, I did hit a nerve for sure. He probably was hitting on someone earlier that night.
It's like I
I
just
used to use
asked
that
that.
line all the time.
Yeah.
And I meant to. I really like to cuddle. It's like I just don't want to go home alone. You like to come back and cuddle.
Yeah, and now that I do that joke more, I get like honest about it. I'm like, who else has fallen for that? Like, because I certainly haven't. It's not even a bad thing, but like, I used to just say like, if I want to cuddle, I go home and cuddle with my cat, and she's
Yeah.
less of a pussy than you are.
Oh.
So sorry to offend you, but
I actually have brought girls home, and it's not like just
also-
a random thing, but like we'd been talking or whatever. It's at a party, and it's like we go back to cuddle, and it's like, we are cuddling, and it's like, are we gonna fuck? I'm like, no, I actually meant cuddle. Like, wait,
Yeah.
what? I just thought that was a lie. No, I just really don't want to sleep alone.
yeah. And you're not a super aggressive dude. Like, I wouldn't be like scared if you said that to me. I'd probably be like, he probably does want to cuddle.
Yeah.
He seems pretty genuine. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, cuddling leads to sex is what people often
That's like dancing.
think, but dance.
Dirty dancing.
Stop dancing.
Havana nights.
Yeah.
Well, cuddling can lead to sex, but a lot of stuff can lead to sex.
Yeah.
Anything can lead to anything.
A high five can lead to sex. If
Right.
you try
You're
hard enough.
So true. So now that you're heading to Edmonton,
Yeah.
doing comedy full time, what are some of the changes that you've experienced going from kind of a 9 to 5, something you can kind of count on, where now you're in more of
A transition mode. Probably.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't want to say a volatile industry, but just a bit tougher. You're not really sure what may come next.
Yeah, so this summer, basically, I would say my job has been like selling our stuff and like also trying to like organize my life. Like I'm trying to make a website, trying to like take all of my material that I have and put it all together. So basically doing like all the back end stuff.
You're curating.
Trying to learn how to use technology because I'm not good at it. So
University of YouTube, it's got everything.
yeah, I've been using some of that stuff and Skillshare, which is a good website if you're looking to learn specific things.
Might have to look into that actually.
Yeah, you can get like a free trial and then cancel after. It's the best way to do it.
I like the trial.
Yeah. And then it's gonna be a weird transition because like before when I was working, I would consider myself like a comic who was just like learning, and I'm still learning obviously forever, but now I'm more confident that I'm like a middle position or like a MC spot. Like I'm confident with the time I can do, and I know that I'm sellable. I should say when I move there to get booked more and make money. So I guess it's just like, do you do it or do you not do it? So I was like, I have no connection to Halifax. So I was like, if I move to Edmonton, I went out and I love the city, I can just take another step and see how it goes. And like, it's scary at a certain point, but at the same time, I'm pretty hireable for any job that doesn't require education.
Yeah.
So like,
You got
I'm
a
never going to
fallback
be
plan,
stuck.
you know?
Yeah.
You're employable.
Yeah. So
A lot of jobs out there.
yeah. And I'm lucky to have a girlfriend who's like really good with that. So
Yeah.
like helping me with anything and, you know,
Sugar mama.
yeah.
Yeah. Is it,
You know what though? To be fair, I have a positive net worth, so that's pretty good.
There we
Hey,
go.
Yeah.
You climbed out of that party debt.
Yeah. Oh
Good for
yeah.
you.
Not us.
Retired from my PEI job, so
Yeah.
I had a little bit of money to fall back on to.
Nice. Have a RAV4. You own your own cat.
Yeah, I got my own cat. That's a good one.
Big investment there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's getting blood work today too. So.
And you're making money with comedy.
No, right now, not really. Like I'm
Some
making
money.
some money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm making some money.
Enough
That
to
be
pay for
fair.
your tab at the bar.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'm not drinking very much.
Drinks are
lately.
free. Come on.
Yeah,
Is,
right.
is that hard not to drink and do comedy?
Not really, because you get so used to being in bars like every day
Yeah.
that you're like, okay, it loses a little bit of the appeal. And it depends who you're around too, right? Like if I'm around some people that I'm really having fun with, I'll be like, and they're like, hey, let's go for some drinks, and it's really hard to say no, so I don't.
Yeah.
So I just go, and I'll have a
out.
couple and some water or whatever.
Double up
Yeah.
the fun.
But I just figured that like if I'm not making any money right now, I should probably not drink as much.
Yeah.
You know.
Drinking costs money. Yeah.
But you can like I shouldn't say I'm not making any money. I can add up the money I've made this year like through like a spreadsheet and stuff, and I'd be like, okay, that's pretty good to be making in Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
as a comic, right?
Yeah, especially you said you're right around the middle. You're doing some opening and
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely hard. There's so many people doing it to actually make a living.
Yeah,
with the many
and
shows you do.
and out west there's more road gigs and there's just more work, more paid work.
More people.
Exactly, more
the-
people.
Yeah, you have
And
some
that
money
oil
saved
money.
up. You're planning to just like
Yeah.
get out there and grind it out and do comedy until you, just
Yeah.
keep doing it. I'm sure it'll work. You don't even get another job, just comedy.
Yeah.
Do you have some like goals in comedy? Comedy? Would you like to see yourself anywhere
Yeah.
in particular eventually?
So I'm thinking I'm gonna live in Edmonton for a couple years until I can like sell myself more as like a headliner.
Yeah.
It's like work my way up to that, and then probably move overseas, like to the UK or something like that for a while. That's
Nice.
my main goal.
That's
I don't even
cool.
care if I had to live in like a tiny house. Like that'd be pretty sweet, just driving around.
Yeah.
Tiny houses are really in right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Are Jacqueline's goals aligned? Does she?
Yeah, she wants to travel around. She wants to live life. She's a teacher. She likes the ability to like substitute teach and also teach cadets, so she doesn't have to commit to one thing 5 days a week, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be a good adventure. We're just gonna keep moving around, see where life takes us.
I think that's really
Yeah.
cool. Is that kind of your view of life? Like you need to just experience
Yeah.
it. There's so much out there.
I get super like complacent and like bored if and stagnant if I stay anywhere too long.
Yeah.
So I'm just like cabin fever. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a perfect industry for it because like if you move to different cities and like make connections there, like I've already lived in PEI, Nova Scotia, and I used to do most of my comedy in New Brunswick. So
Yeah.
once I go and come back, I can put on shows in those places too
Yeah.
and build your network around the world, I
Absolutely.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah. How about who you know? Do you know people in Edmonton now? Do you have connections there?
Yeah, I have a couple comics I've worked with outside of like even before I went there when they were in the East Coast.
Yeah.
And I spent a month in Edmonton just making friends and doing shows and
Yeah.
just proving that I was funny before I moved there.
Yeah.
Save myself some time, you know?
And I'll be back.
Yeah, I'll be back.
I
Yeah.
have a few really good pals out west. So
Yeah?
I'm gonna connect you.
Yeah,
If,
that'd
if
be
you
sweet.
like friends, if you're
I do
looking
like
for
friends.
friends.
Do
Yeah.
you like friends?
I
Some
do like
people
friends.
just like to be coupled and
It's
not.
yeah.
go to the
No,
house.
I like friends.
Okay.
It's funny because when I was there, like I had a couple people message me after, like, when are you back? Let's be friends.
Mm.
Or like people when I was there, they're like, get a hold of me. I was like, me and my lesbian friends want to hang out with you. I was like, oh, yeah. Okay.
Well, that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
Like when we were on the live pod, and I only chatted with you a bit, but I was like, okay, I want to be friends. Let's
Yeah.
be friends.
Yeah.
I almost asked you out just to be friends. I was like, might as well get on the podcast too. while
Yeah,
we're at
yeah.
it. We'll just be friends after.
Yeah.
This is how I make friends. Hey, do you want to come on be on a podcast? Sure.
Come on the podcast.
Yeah.
I guess
I
yeah,
know
we
everything
should
about
say,
you.
We met you at the Intoxicated live
Canada
24-hour, 15-hour Canada Day stream.
Yeah.
How long did we last this time? It was like 5 hours, 6 hours.
Yeah.
There were only 6 listeners, so it was really cool. It's just like, all right, it's just a group of us chatting, having fun. No one's really
Made some hot
listening.
dogs.
Oh, yeah. The dogs.
Having some
And like
yips.
3 of the listeners were us on our phones looking at it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool because you were talking about moving to Edmonton and starting that podcast.
Yeah.
Are you just going to do, when are you going to record? When you're driving, when you're doing stops, kind of everything?
So we're only planning on driving since we're taking a whole month, we're only going to drive 4-5 hours a day. And then we'll set up a camping spot or whatever. But I think we're going to do a couple episodes before we even head out. Jacqueline's on leave the 1st to the 3rd of this month. So I think we're going to record some prep episodes.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably do a variety of when we're recording. I would like to do it mostly when we're out in nature, so it's not as loud. Cool. But we're getting some lapel microphones, so you can clip it on and you don't have to.
Ooh, there you go.
You can be building a fire and you don't have to have.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you'll just be the 2 of you. You're not planning on having guests?
Yeah, I don't think so.
And
it
the
might
cat.
grow. Yeah, the cat. Yeah. So Lesbians and a cat.
You guys have good banter, I'm assuming?
Yeah. We've
Yeah.
got good. And plus also a lot of it's going to be tips, actual facts about camping and how to prepare and stuff like that. Yeah. We've got 30 years combined camping experience, which is pretty crazy.
Right.
Outdoor
teaching,
skills.
yeah, teaching kids how to survive in the woods. Yeah.
Is Jack funny?
Yeah, she is funny. She would never do stand up,
Right.
No.
which was just smart of her. But,
Yeah.
but she is funny. Yeah. I know how to poke in the right places to make it funny too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Is this
Yeah.
who's this podcast for? Who's really gonna want to listen to it and get a lot out of it?
I would say my opinion is, how should I say this? A lot of lesbians want to hear from other lesbians, about something that's in the same realm. It's camping skills. I feel like so many people in the world want to camp more, but they don't.
Yeah.
Just because
Totally.
no one camps as much as they used to.
Right.
And I think it might be a good way to branch that a little
Yeah.
bit, branch the gap a little bit. Yeah, anyone's a little outdoorsy or just talking about preparing for trips and stuff like that. Guess I should find my demographic a little bit more.
Yeah,
quickly,
is there
but-
going to be relationship stuff? Is it going to be about kind of you guys and what you're going through and being a lesbian? Is that kind of stuff going to be involved?
It's not going to be super relationship-y. That's a good question. I guess we haven't recorded any episodes yet, so I'm sure it'll probably evolve at a certain point.
And are you going to want to release them as you're recording or just batch them all and wait?
Yeah, I think we're going to release them as we record them. I was thinking about batching them all and then setting it out, but there's something pretty cool about having it in real time.
Right.
And I think that a lot of friends and family are going to want to listen to that.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah. Follow your journey.
Yeah.
And you never know what's going to happen on the road.
Yeah,
I'm sure
exactly.
there's going to be plenty of things that you don't even know about that are going to end up on the podcast.
Yeah, I want to take pictures of us, get a selfie stick and have pictures because we're both very short. Just standing under really tall stuff.
Yeah.
the cat. But I think it's gonna be good for for me too to have something to branch out from just stand up and being able to find an audience in different ways. I feel like that would lend itself to my stand up as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big growth experience. And if there's a Blair Witch scenario at some point, we have all of this content that
That's
is just
fair.
going to build
Found
something
footage.
really cool. Yeah.
It's funny. I die on the road. And you guys make so much money off this episode. You're
Yeah,
the
we
last podcast.
We start a true crime podcast,
Yeah.
and Brittany and Jack thought they were going to Edmonton.
All right, let's start with the clues. You were talking about doing a true crime podcast before. I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much digging and research. It's only going to work if, it's a scenario like this where we sabotage. And, have Brittany murdered and we just know so much
We
about it
already knew it.
beforehand.
Could you kidnap me and
Yeah.
then I could have a reveal later then instead of murder, or is that not it?
Yeah,
guess-
and that's the twist.
Yeah. She's
It was
not
all
actually
a
murdered.
hoax.
We set you all up.
Fake crime.
New podcast genre.
I like it.
Yeah.
Fake crime.
Cool. Yeah. So you're gonna
Yeah.
record maybe here in Halifax and then
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll do one episode about how our first trip out to the woods with Chloe went. Talk about her getting her blood work and stuff like that. And then talk about
Is she okay? You just can't check her.
yeah, we went to get her checked out. She has a heart murmur and she thinks she's anemic, but usually it's a little bit different from humans when they're anemic. It's usually a sign of something else.
Right.
But she's also 12, so it could just be like her kidneys just aren't as great or
Getting
whatever.
up there, yeah.
Yeah. So we just got her a couple vaccines so that she doesn't get like rabies or
Yeah.
tetanus or anything
call.
when she's out there. Yeah.
She better live through this trip.
Oh my God, I've been thinking about this. Like, imagine like 3/4 of the way through the cat just dies, and you're
gosh.
like, I have to have a sad episode
Yeah.
about a cat being dead, and then you have to get another cat so that you're not lying. You know.
Can't change the name.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
But I mean, those are some of the best like documentary series. It's something huge and traumatic happens
Yeah.
on the episode that no one knows about.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so we could kidnap you. That could be
That
the
could
thing.
be, yeah. I'll
Something
give
have
you the dates of
a
where I am.
twist.
Yeah, could you give us your itinerary
Yeah,
before you
I
leave?
will.
Yeah,
This is
perfect.
now episode 13, 1 lesbian and no cats.
The cat's a lesbian too, actually.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure.
perfect.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Is she spayed?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Big
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I think cats are pansexual.
Yeah.
Yeah, just into love.
That's fair. Yeah.
Doesn't matter where it comes from.
You don't sound like a bitter hating cat person, which is nice.
I grew up with cats.
Yeah.
Yes, my parents have Tango now. Shout out to Tango.
Shout out to Tango.
It's like a 1.5-year-old ginger cat, and
Oh.
ginger cats have the most personality. They're
Oh,
so
really?
wacky.
I never
found.
really liked ginger cats that much, though.
Some are pieces of shit.
Yeah.
I think
But
it-
I guess that's the personality thing. It's
Right.
either going to be a good one or it's going
It's
to be.
good. There's no in between
Yeah.
with ginger cats or
Ta-
orange cats.
Tango
I don't
has a
know if that's
lot of
kosher.
love to give.
Yeah.
I don't even know you. Tango just like gets at you.
Oh.
And wants to love you.
That's like my cat.
Yeah.
She'll like lay on my chest or
Yeah.
like under like the crevice of my arm, and she'll
Mm-hmm.
let me like cuddle her, and she'll just be laying on the ground, just on her back, like sprawled
Yeah.
out, just
Yeah.
like.
Rub my belly.
I was like, no, you're supposed to protect yourself. Like, this is not safe. Yeah.
Used to be a hunter.
See how she does in the wild.
Yeah.
Oh, exciting.
We'll see. She was good in the woods. She was like loving it. She was chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that name for a podcast. Good in the wood.
Good in the woods.
Good in the woods.
Yeah.
Good's in the woods.
Yeah.
That sounds creepy.
Yeah.
Mark wants to start a lot of podcasts.
I got lots of ideas.
Okay.
Running out of time though. There's not enough time in the day
Yeah.
right now.
You don't really do much.
Yeah.
I think you could do a few more.
I'm not overextending myself quite yet.
Yeah.
I was thinking of doing another, like, I'm building my website, which is like gonna have potentially lots of like content. So I'm gonna do like some sections, like some like behind the joke. And I was thinking of having like a little mini section, like podcast for that, but really it's just me recording it and having it in there and doing little clips of it. So I guess it wouldn't, and I might bring it all together into like I had this podcast for a while. It was called The Cunning Linguist. Yeah, real classy. Just a comedy podcast. But I'm thinking of like redoing it and like taking out the old episodes and like, or even just archiving them and then starting it with some new information. That way I don't have to bog down the Two Lesbians and a Cat podcast with too much of my comedy stuff. And keep them separate, then like kind of bounce them off each other.
2 podcasts at once.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cross
you never know.
promotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love pods.
Yeah.
Future's bright. I would
Yeah.
say.
Future's bright.
Yeah.
I think so.
You got adventures ahead.
Yeah. No,
Europe maybe.
Yeah. Right now I'm in like a prepare for the future kind of phase, so I'm
Yeah.
like not doing a whole lot. Just doing shows and stuff like that, but I'm pretty excited for the future.
A lot of dreaming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any shows you want to plug?
So for anything that's in Halifax, right now all I have is I'm headlining Oasis open mic on August 13th.
Let's go.
Which they've been getting some pretty good crowds there lately. And for anyone who might be listening or know anybody in PEI, August 24th, 8 p.m. or 10 p.m. at the Whiskey in Stratford. It's going to be good. $15 in advance, $20 at the door.
Cool.
You can check it out on Facebook, or tickets will be up on Eventbrite by the time this comes out. So
Yeah, definitely. We can
Yeah.
add some links.
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome.
Stratford, the send off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then 2 lesbians and a cat.
Yeah, the podcast.
Yeah. Might be
Check out-
some episodes by the
Yeah.
time it's theirs.
Check it out on Instagram, Two Lesbians and a Cat. If you want to check it out on Facebook, it's at 2L Cat, because apparently lesbian's a bad word on Facebook for
What?
handles. Yeah, so I can't put lesbian in there. So
Zuckerberg.
I know.
Unreal. And
bad.
with the podcast for people searching it, will be the number 2 or TWO?
TWO.
TWO.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my website that'll be up probably by then, BrittanyCampbellComedy.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And do you have a personal handle that you have
Oh,
some
yeah.
funny stuff to find out?
On Instagram, it's at Brittany Makes Jokes.
Yeah.
And same on Facebook. Brittany makes jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've seen it.
And then if people want to be your friend and know you in real life, they should just reach out.
Yeah, exactly.
You want
I
more
like
friends,
hanging
I
out.
heard.
I like friends.
Yeah.
I like making people come to my shows.
Yeah.
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 Awesome.
That's why you're here. To seem like someone that should be friends.
Yeah. I'm not a murderer. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything can happen on the
Anything.
road.
Yeah.
Shouldn't say that. There's like 2 murders on the run right now out west.
Is there?
Whoops. Yeah, those 2.
I hope they're caught by the time we get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna catch them.
Oh, right.
Yes!
I know which ones
It turns into a true crime podcast where we catch the murderers. Oh, that'd be sweet.
Amazing.
Yeah.
In real time.
because you have the lapel mic.
Yeah. We're running against him.
I'm so scared.
Stick the cat on him. Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, before we get out of here, anything else you want to add there, Sid?
No, I don't.
Nothing. Well, Brittany, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us. This was a lot of fun.
This is
Yeah.
great.
Looking forward to the podcast, 2 Lesbians in a Cab,
Yeah, me too.
and looking forward to whatever your future has in store, Edmonton and wherever after.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You're going straight to the top.
We're gonna be
Straight to the
following
top.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks so
Oh,
much.
we're gonna be following you.
Thanks so much for having me. It was really fun.
For sure.
Like talking about myself, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm not
Repeat it.
expecting to be a guest on 2 Lesbians and a Cat. I get it.
Yeah.
It's not the premise. It's fine.
If you dress up as a cat,
Yeah.
we can probably make it happen.
Okay. I could just do the meow sound.
You have
effects.
cat-like qualities.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Thanks again, Brittany.
Yeah, thank
for
you.
a brand new view. I'm Mark.
I'm Sid.
Bye.
with the same old blues. I was the same old